In the National Hockey League, the Edmonton Oilers have won the Stanley Cup.
Okay, for Edmonton Oilers fans, the most iconic call was that one right there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the author of that call, the Dean of NHL Broadcasters, Mr. Bob Cole. Come on out, Bob.
So, Bob, tell us why and how the new bunch on the block came about.
I'm not quite sure, John, but I kind of fell in love with this group, these young Oilers in '83, when they got all the way to the Stanley Cup final in Long Island. It was a dynasty with the Islanders, and they lost in 4 games. And I remember walking out with Wayne and Glenn and Paul and all the guys, and everybody was just in silence, just walking and bruised and tired and worn out. And then the next year, I lived through it and I really fell in love with this team. They made me feel so comfortable. And we got together again, as everybody knows, the next year in '84, and they won their first Stanley Cup. The first of 4 here in this old building, which we're saying goodbye to tonight. And it just happened. A new bunch on the block. Sometimes you're wrong, but I was right. New bunch.
Indeed. And what about this man?
All right.
Wayne, you've had great friendships with many announcers over the years. I remember when you first met Danny Gallivan, but your time with Bob, even that closing game at Madison Square Garden in 1999, the hug in the hallway, and what Bob means to you in this franchise.
Well, first of all, I want to thank everyone for a wonderful night. The Oilers and all the players who came back, and of course the fans. Mark and I were talking, I don't think there's any other city where the fans would still be sitting here. My gosh, we wish we could get out there and play for them, but we can't do that anymore.
One quick question. When you signed your 21-year contract, I think it was in one of the corners on a card table here when you were in the WHA, did you ever imagine that this would occur?
2 people said it would happen. Glenn Sather, my dad, and Vic Maw. Those 3 people said, we're going to win Stanley Cups in Edmonton. Mark Messier and Kevin Lowe and Paul Coffey, and to me, the greatest goalie ever lived, Grant Fuhr and Glenn Anderson. But back to Mr. Cole. My 2 favorite moments is the new kids on the block, and when he said to Team Canada, that's got to be enough. That was the most joyous time for me. But, you know, we grew up as fans. Mark was sitting here telling me today they used to take the bus to watch Rusty Patino play. We're kids, too, with dreams, and everybody should have their dreams. We grew up watching Danny Gallivan and Dick Irvin and Foster Hewitt and Mr. Cole. I try to call him every couple of weeks to see how he's doing. Sometimes the phone calls don't get through to Newfoundland, but all in all, the greatest thing about hockey is the people you meet. My life, the people I've met, my family, my wife, my kids, the friendships I have, our memories, it's nothing like it. It's the greatest game in the world.
Mark, just continuing on the theme of Mr. Cole, the Hockey Hall of Famer, somewhere you're certainly familiar with. Were there certain, Wayne just talked about certain calls, now it's a Moose call we're getting, I guess, hey? Were there specific calls, or just was it something special to know that Bob Cole would have called a Stanley Cup winning or a playoff winning series goal?
You knew you were in the big leagues. You knew you're in the moment. You knew that you're at the end of the line and playing for the championship when Bob was around. It it was a special moment, and we'll never forget, obviously, for all the obvious reasons, winning the Stanley Cup, but then you put all the people that make magic happen and bring it to the people there, and nobody did it better than Bob.
And still continues to do it as you did tonight, Bob. What a great call you had of the kind of the new kids on the block when it comes to the current Edmonton Oilers. For you, Wayne just described some of the things it took to be successful. Can you kind of maybe continue on that theme or add to that when it came to the group, the family, the dynasty that was built in this northern city with blue-collar people, blue-collar hockey players, and then some gems as well?
Well, I think it's very simple. No individual can win a championship on his own. I mean, it's just that simple. You need a lot of support. You need a lot of people thinking the same way, all in alignment. You need the heart and dedication and the character to make it happen. And we realize that, like I said today at City Hall, when you win, the stage is big enough for everybody. You got to make everybody feel that their contributions are just as important as the next guys, no matter whether it's 30 minutes a game or 2 minutes a game. Everybody's got to feel that they're important. And if they don't bring their best every game, you have zero chance of winning there. And we were able to convince everybody that came here that they were important and we needed you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Cole, Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier.
What's your max? What's your max? 23 down.